What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time we're taking a look at the Super Mario Brothers movie made in 1993, starring Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper. Of course, the Super Mario Brothers movie is based off the very legendary and iconic and popular Super Mario Brothers video game. Okay, let's waste no time. Let's make this review as short and sweet. This movie is notorious. This movie is notorious for taking many creative liberties with the world and overall story of Super Mario. You're either going to like this movie or you're just going to think this movie slaps in the face of Mario. It slaps in the face of the games, slaps in the face of the characters and everything like that. Or you can just look at it for what it is, which is just a dumb, silly, yet very entertaining movie. I am not going to lie. The Super Mario Brothers movie is a guilty pleasure type of movie. You can tell by watching this thing that it's really stupid, it's really silly. It has the skeleton of to do with the Mario franchise, but it really does. This movie does is tell its own story in its own way. And yes, it does take a lot of creative liberties. Like I said, you're either going to like those liberties or you're going to hate those liberties. For me, certain liberties the movie took, I don't mind it. Other liberties the movie took, I thought were kind of dumb. This movie sets up ideas that I thought were kind of cool. It sets up characters that I thought could have been explored with much more. But given that this movie had a lot of creative problems during its making back in 1993, with the script that was never right and a directing combo who were definitely not right for the job, and actors who were not really too keen to be in this movie, I am not going to lie. When you watch this movie, you can't really see that. Mainly because you have Bob Hoskins. Okay. I strike that. You're gonna see some actors who you can clearly tell are phoning it in, but you're also gonna see some actors who are clearly having a good time. And even actors who hated this movie, you can tell that they're at least giving a performance and they're trying it. They don't. To me, they don't look like they're sleepwalking. Though in some scenes they do look like they're sleepwalking. But that's beside the point. The overall story of this movie is this. A meteorite, King Koopa is trying to find a fragment of a meteor so that way he can merge the world of Dino Manhattan and the real world of Brooklyn. In order to get this meteorite, he has to kidnap Princess Daisy, who as a child was put in the dimensional that we know as Earth. And she comes into contact with the Mario Brothers, and the three of them have to team up to save the day. That's the overall bare bones plot of the film. Listen, I think I rambled on incoherently enough. Let's just talk about it now. In terms of the cast in this movie, I do like it. I think Bob Hoskins does a really good job playing Mario, but in a better movie, his performance could have been so much more. But for what we get in this, I liked it. I like Bob Hoskins and Mario. He kind of looks like Mario a little bit, and Bob Hoskins is trying to channel his Eddie Valiant character from Roger Rabbit, who was basically Mario if he was a drunkard and a private detective. So he's kind of bringing that to this movie, which I appreciate because I love him and Roger Rabbit, and I love Roger Rabbit in general. And I thought Bob Hoskins in this movie was a lot of fun as Mario. John Leguizamo as Luigi, hit and miss. In some scenes he's pretty funny, in other scenes he's completely miscast. But I would say this: he and Hoskins do have some chemistry, and I do enjoy their bantering most of the time. So I'm not going to criticize it too much because I did like John Leguizamo in certain areas in this movie. The actress who played Princess Daisy, I thought she was fine in the role as well. She's pretty much the love interest of Luigi, and if you're familiar with Mario video game lore, the game always teases that Luigi and Daisy have a sort of romance going on while Mario was too busy hanging around Peach. So I give this movie credit for making Luigi and Daisy more into a full-fledged romance, and it's okay for what it is. Nothing spectacular, nothing memorable, but not that bad either. Dennis Hopper, who plays King Koopa, Bowser. Dennis Hopper to me is a lot of fun in this movie. I enjoyed his performance. He is so joyfully over the top. You can clearly tell that he's just hamming it up, and he's a lot of fun. He doesn't come across as like the world's biggest threatening presence because his performance is way too hammy for it. But in the context of this movie, it works. But I'll say this, he does have certain scenes that are meant to be serious, but are unintentionally hilarious. Yeah, Dennis Hopper to me is one of the shining bright lights of this movie. I love his performance as King Koopa. He is joyfully over the top and a lot of fun. The rest of the supporting cast, they're okay too. Mojo Nixon plays Toad. He's fine. He has maybe a couple of dialogue scenes, and he's turned into a Goomba. But that's neither here nor there. Speaking of which, the references to Mario lore, I appreciate this movie for putting them in. Like the Goombas, even though they're completely different in this movie than how they are in the video games. The little bullets the bullets are in this movie. The bombs are in this movie. Makes a lot of references to the Mushroom Kingdom. So I give the movie that. I mean, it does have references to Mario lore. Mario and Luigi being plumbers and the warp tunnels and stuff like that. So you do get that stuff, but just done in a more grounded way, so to speak. So I appreciate that. It's like I appreciate it. The overall look and aesthetic of this movie, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like it. It has like what if Mario was in Blade Runner? That's what Dino Hatton looks like. It looks like Mario in Blade Runner. It's weird. It's almost hellish looking. It's very industrial like. I mean, it's not as bright and colorful and mind trippy as the video games. In that aspect, I wish it kind of was. But given what they're trying to do with this movie, it's whatever. I'll give it a pass. I mean, at least they put a lot of effort into the production design of this movie. So I can't bash it too much. Though I do think I do think the dinosaurs acting like humans is a kind of weird, and I think they should have acted more unhuman, for lack of a better word. That's just me personally. This movie, what else? This movie does have some subplots I don't really care about, and does have some characters I don't care about. The character of Lena, who is Bowser's second in command, she serves no purpose. The characters of Spike and Izzy, who are Koopa's cousin, they're hit and miss. Some of the scenes can be funny, and other times I found them to be just unfunny and just annoying. And when you get to the post-credit scenes of this movie, you find out that they survive a threatening fall and want to break the fourth wall by making a video game called the Super Koopa Cousins instead of the Super Mario Brothers. So I mean that post-credit's fine. And the tag of Daisy trying to pretty much hinting at the fact that a sequel could have been made at the end, that was whatever. So like, movie does stuff like that, but it also sets up things that doesn't really pay off. For example, the original king of Mushroom World, he's played by Lance Henriksen in this movie, and Lance has a 5-second cameo. You blink and you miss it. I think it would have been cool if we saw some flashback scenes of Koopa and the original king fighting for the throne, and we get to see Koopa actually, turn the king into fungus, who was spread all around Dino Hatton, who occasionally would help out Mario and Luigi. Like, why couldn't we gotten some scenes? Why couldn't we got a flashback scene of that just to give Lance Henriksen something to do instead of coming across as a cameo? To me, that's just a waste of Lance Henriksen's talents, because it could have been cool. It could have been cool if you'd explored certain things more. That's just me personally. The overall practical effects, like I said, look really good. The CGI effects, oof. I give this movie a lot of credit. When this movie first came out in 1993, it had groundbreaking special effects. This is where computer imagery was really starting to take off. In some aspects of this movie, the computer CGI looks fairly decent. In others, it looks not so much. It's kind of a mixed bag. But you can't fault the movie because the movie was trying to break new ground and trying to push the limit to what you can do with the technology that was given in 1993. So I give it a lot of credit for that. It did the best it could. In terms of the overall directing of this movie, it's very hit and miss. Certain scenes are well done, other scenes not so much, and certain characters and their performances just fall flat. Certain story beats could have been expanded upon, but they're not. Like, the movie is overall just a mixed bag. And that's what this movie really is. It's a mixed bag. It's a guilty pleasure. I don't hate it like most people do. I think nowadays people are kind of turning on to this movie and just admire it for what it is, which is just a goofy, silly movie that you're not meant to take seriously. And even though this movie won't go down as one of the shining spots of the Mario franchise, it's still fun to watch with a nostalgic eye, which is why overall I give the Super Mario Brothers movie a solid 6 out of 10. I don't hate it. I enjoyed it. I get a kick out of it. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.